Welcome to the link this evening and this week. We welcome you, and tonight we are discussing digitalization, especially for small and medium enterprises. COVID has made it imperative to digitalize our businesses as SMEs. However, what does that all mean, and what must we watch out for in terms of risks? Tonight my guest is Mr. Mustapha Mugisa, who is a computer forensic expert and is the CEO for Summit Consult. Mr. Mustapha, welcome.
Thank you very much. How are you?
I am okay. Normally we have a few minutes here, so we're going to try to be brief. The first question is, what does digitalization mean for SMEs?
Digitization is about changing the way you deliver value from manual processes to ICT-enabled processes. As you know, these days, many people have got a mobile phone, they can access internet, they have computers. So when you digitize, you are enabling such a people to access your services on your mobile phone. So you are looking at two sides of the business. One, internal processes and delivering external value. The other is monetizing the value you create. So internally, you can examine your processes, assess the manual processes, and try to automate them, in which case you say you are digitizing them. Maybe you could use an accounting system or an enterprise resource planning system, an ERP, which combines all the processes of your business into one suite. The alternative is approach it in silos. You automate each process at a time, accounting, then you automate human resource, then you automate maybe channel optimization until the entire business is done, depending on the budget you have. The alternative is to say, no, I'm not going to digitize, and you remain with your processes in a manual way. So either way, you have to have a choice of what is supporting what you are doing to remain more profitable and low cost and succeed in the market. Thank you.
Okay, according to what I understand, I can bring it down in a simple form. If I've been having physical files piling up in file cabinets, now I'm going to bring those down into maybe a server or something like that. Is that right?
Fantastic. You see, that is trying to convert manual records into digital form. And I like the example you bring. At the time I was beginning my first job way back early 2000, I was privileged to be part of Nile Bank when it was implementing a digitization strategy, whereby if you know the Spear Motors house, the basement, all of it was manual files. And at the time, thanks to we had a banker from UK, and also by then I think Research Berugaba had come from London, and they were trying to transform the bank into a digital bank. So we were scanning all the files of customer deposits so that they can be accessed digitally on their platform. So that is one way of looking at it, trying to optimize your existing processes to make them more easier to access and remove a lot of manual documentation in your system. So that is something very small out of the entire digitization agenda. Because
okay,
when you are talking about digital, you're looking at many other supporting processes.
Yeah, because of time, I know we can come back to this subject. Second question. Because of COVID, it's imperative for us, for SMEs, to digitalize. However, what are the options that are available? How far can I go, honestly?
As you have rightly pointed out, COVID has awakened us to the reality of being digital. For example, in the past, this call would be physical, I would be in the studio. But now you give me the option whether I can do it virtually or not. And we have seen so many businesses which are willing to adopt change, trying to remain resilient and winning even more. I want you to remember the business model of DHL. Before COVID, DHL was mainly a company just for shipping and transferring people's packages. But if you have been following the trends, DHL has had to revisit their business model, and now they have created a digital platform to enable people to buy goods and services from various vendors globally so that they can deliver. So you go to DHL website now, it will prompt you to download their app, and then you can purchase from any vendor globally. Top merchandise from whichever best shops you know of in top markets, New York, London, or even here in Africa. The same way you will see the Jumia model. Now, you would expect that post-bank postal services of Uganda should also be thinking of embracing this kind of change, because your traditional brick and mortar of waiting for people to bring their packages is no longer going to be giving you competitive edge. So the strategy has to be revisited, whereby they create a platform, put all people, because they have a countrywide branch network. You go to each district, they put farmers, products, or even people who are into arts, they put them on a platform, and then anybody who buys the work of postal services is to deliver. So this kind of mindset is what it calls now. So we would say first begin with the strategy, because digital or no digital does not define the strategy. You have to begin on the fundamentals, and the fundamentals is how are you creating value, how will you deliver that value, how will you sustain that value. And you realize that in these kind of times, creating the value on the foundation of technology enables scalability and gives better service offering to customers. So that's the beginning. What is your strategy, and how do you create value and deliver it to who? And then you can see how to win.
And of course, the budget.
A lot to.
And of course, the budget is important, correct?
Hello?
The budget. How much money I have, I think
the budget
is
important, but you see, when we are doing business, when we are doing strategy, we begin asking certain questions. We ask ourselves, which capabilities do we need? And then which capabilities do we have? So if I need a capability of digital, it means that I have to look where will I get financing to invest in the capabilities I need. So I do a business case. That's why you see we have financial institutions where you can go, because you see your project is going to be profitable, and then you can get financing. So the whole essence is, as long as your business has sound sense, then it should be bankable. Now, the problem happens when banks fail to assess a product based on its ability to generate future cash flow, but instead they refer to the collateral, which usually is a mismatch between sustaining value and paying the loan vis-a-vis ability to come back and sell a collateral when you don't deliver. So it is not good for entrepreneurs to begin assessing automation or strategy or new projects on the basis, do we have the money? No. First does it deliver future value, which is over and above the current cost to justify an investment? If the answer is yes, then you can mobilize the investors, you can look for a loan, you can mobilize family and friends, so that you can bring them to interest them into your project.
Okay, Mustapha, well said there. Our last question. When we digitalize, we make money and we make opportunities, we open up doors. However, with it comes risk, the big animal in the room. Recently, we have seen the financial institutions being hit because of embracing digitalization. So, give us a picture. What are the risks associated with digitalization, and how can I protect myself? We only have 3 minutes.
Thank you. Every time you go on the road in a taxi or in any car, you subject yourself to risk of an accident. Maybe the driver could slip on the steering wheel, or even the tire could burst. But you manage these risks. You could buy insurance, you could repair the car, or you could have a very nice rest before the driving. So, meaning that every time you do something, there is risk. When you automate, there is emerging risks. People could hack into you, your staff could steal from you, or anything could happen. You could do, there could be a flood, and your server could be flooded, and you could lose it, assuming you have a server in your office. So the best way is to identify the critical risks and manage them. So critical risks will enable you to ask, what is the business impact analysis to my business? Who is my key staff? What is my key servers or systems? And how do I better save them? So for example, your key staff, you'll buy key man insurance. Your key servers, you will back them up. Just in case the data is lost, you can find where to get it from, but also insure them in case the server is stolen, you can buy and replace it. Because you had also backed up your data, then you can continue operations in case something bad happened. So that's why SMEs are always encouraged to practice better governance practices. Always comply, have a board which can provide oversight, and also make sure that you assess risk so that you are able to anticipate bad things from happening. Thank you very much.
Lastly, does the hiring the right people in terms of this digitalization matter? Is it that critical? Who is the right person?
You see, we say trust after controls. I like my grandfather would always advise people. You say, I grew with him, and he would say, if you have a wife and she asks you, she wants to go maybe to visit the friends, always insist to go with the child. Why? Because, you know, when somebody has a child, maybe they will be inconvenienced. So that's why you see some people, they go out for a party when they have their children. So that way you are having risk management to avoid maybe temptations and so many other things. So even if you have a staff, whether it is your relative, your friend, or your trusted other partner or a business partner, put controls. That's why you have service level agreements. That's why you have contracts, that you have terms of engagement. And then after you have put these controls, then now you can trust them. You don't just trust without control.
Thank you very much.
You cannot trust a car which has not been serviced because the driver is good. No. First put the control, service the car, and then you can trust the driver.
Thank you very much, Mustapha, for highlighting those points. We could have said more, but our time is short. That was Mr. Mustapha Mugisa, who is a computer forensic expert and is also the CEO of Summit Consult. We hope that if you are planning to digitalize as an SME, you have got some tips out of this conversation. That was the link tonight. Thank you for joining us.